was a quick stop at Lungern Lake, yeah, a dam basically that they made for renewable energy. Louder? Okay. Better now? Yeah. Can you hear me better now? All right. Okay. Very good. Very good. So that was our first stop basically to take the photo. We are going to be driving now for another 15-ish minutes until we get to Brienz, and then in Brienz there we get off the bus again, and then you will also have time to. And they are very easily to adapt to the circumstances and to the conditions. They are super good for milk and also for meat, even if they have a poor meadow basically in the high mountains. Only a certain type of grass basically, with loads of herbs though, but yeah, they are what is funny is actually that they are being registered. So every cow has to be registered here in Switzerland. Yeah. So basically with the birth date and with the name and the farmer who owns it, etc. And there's about 2.5 million cows. 2.5 million registered cows in Switzerland. What is also funny is that you can also lease a cow. That's pretty cool, right? And during the duration of the lease, you actually get to keep all the cheese that is made from that milk. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Then we know already that the cows are being taken up to the mountains. For what amount of time? It's 4 months that they usually spend in the mountains. So 8 months they are in the valley, 4 months they are in the mountains. They can walk around freely, of course. There are no fences. Every year in late September, October, there is one cow train that we call the Alpabzug, which means chasing down the cows from the Alp again. So the drive from the mountain, basically, the farmers go up, they get all their cows down there, and it's like a huge train of cows. In many areas, those cows are then decorated for that day. Yeah, so really nicely with flowers and everything. And the cow train is also celebrated with a lot of music and dancing, with events in the towns and the villages. Now, when you think of our musician from yesterday, you can imagine he was in such a good mood and he had such a good energy. So that's usually also the energy of those events. When people here love their traditions, they love celebrating the mountains, and the cows are very nicely decorated. So are the cows, and they chase them down. It looks like one huge cow train. So the so-called Alpabzug, very famous. How do you know which is your cow when all the cows are up in the mountains? So how do the farmers know? Well, that's also why the cows have a bell. So the farmer can tell by the bell and by basically the band that goes around the neck of the cow if the cows belong to him or not. So every farmer has their own decoration basically on the cow bell and on the neck of the cow. Yeah, so the cow bell is only worn by those who are roaming around freely. So the ones who are behind fences, they don't need them anyway, because the farmers obviously know where they put them and can get them back easily. So up the mountains, they are really free to roam around, and it's just used. Of course, wood never gets the same sound as the metal ones. And the collar, so the band that is going around the neck, is usually made out of leather, and could also be wood fibers, has ornaments on them. So it differs from farmer to farmer, and that's how they recognize which cow is which and which cow belongs to which farmer. Yeah, as mentioned yesterday, the cows wear them all year round, because they cannot also put them up, only put them up for those 4 months. That would be too short of time, and the muscles wouldn't be developed enough to carry the cowbells. So also in the winter months, they wear it because they have to get used to the weight. So that's something very typical. Yesterday we saw one in the restaurant. There was one hanging up on the inside, on the ceiling. So they are quite heavy, And the heaviest though, like the one that we saw yesterday, that's probably one of the really bigger ones, and that's used during the Alpabzug only, also for show of course and for decoration. Yeah, so a Swiss cowbell. It is one of the most iconic symbols also of Switzerland. So I remember when I was little, my dad went to Switzerland once and he brought me back a keychain with a little cowbell on it. Yeah, and it had my name on it too, which is quite cute. So one of the first things I learned about Switzerland was that there are those cowbells when I was little. Now we also talked about it yesterday that those can become pretty loud. Those cowbells. We are talking to noise levels of up to 130 decibels. Wow. 130 or 13, which is basically the same as a chainsaw. When you imagine having a chainsaw around your neck the whole time, that obviously is not very nice. The legal limit is 85 decibels. So according to research, it's possible that thousands of cows actually who they have very sensitive hearing, way more sensitive than human beings, and they have already, some of them have already been made deaf because of wearing the bell. Yeah, so that's actually quite a sad story. More squares, and then they let the cow walk around the field and wait until the cow picks a square to do her business. And then basically the participant who bet exactly on that square is the winner. Yeah. Of course that game can last a few hours, as you can imagine. Yeah, but that's a little bit of entertainment in the Alps when they had to watch their cows.
Simone?
Yes?
Are there predators for the cows up in the mountains?
Predators for cows? Not really. There might be the odd bear wandering through, but at the moment I haven't really heard anything, any scandals in Switzerland. Not really, no. When we were in M13 was his name, was his number. Yeah, but they shot him as far as I am informed. So M13, not as nice as Bruno the bear that we had roaming around in Tyrol in Austria. Bruno is, I think, a more fitting name for a bear. M13 is not quite as romantic. So no, technically, well, we don't know where these bears come from sometimes, you know. They were basically local animals, right? And as mentioned earlier, especially in Austria now we have the wolf problem.